Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
So if you got your hand weights, have them ready and nearby, and then we're going to take it right into our bounce. So you guys who came to yoga yesterday got to hear me talk all about it, but I went and took this pelvic bone health course, and I was super excited about all the stuff that I learned about our pelvic bone and just in general, our bony structure. If this is feeling good, you're going to take it into a little bit more of a vigorous bounce, maybe a little bit of a hop even. Let your arms bounce, let your body shake. But if you didn't get enough sleep and you're a little tired today, you're going to keep it at that low, gentle bounce. And then you're going to start to notice, how does your breath feel coming in and out through your nose? What's your energy level feeling like? If this bounce is feeling good, you're going to take it into a little bounce and twist. But if the bounce and twist is not for you, you're going to stick with that low bounce or even a little bit of a hop. Get everything just revved up, rare and ready to go, as much as revved up as you want your workout to be today. Let's always keep that in mind. Every day might feel a little bit different. We always want to treat our body to the work that feels most beneficial according to the day. All right, 5 seconds left. Bounce and bounce and bounce. And hi, Liz. Good morning, Liz. Liz, we need hand weights this morning. Light and heavy will be the thing. All right, that's time. Now take it into our twist with that liver slap. So we're going to slap the liver, slap the stomach, a little bit slap to the back, but we want that little bit of an oomph to that twist. I like to let my feet pivot with me, my knees pivot with me, my hips pivot with me, but a little bit of oomph as we stimulate that midsection. All right, now we're going to switch it up and take it into some windmills. So step your feet nice and wide, arms nice and wide. Exhale as you twist, inhale as you come back through center. If that's not feeling like your back or your hips this morning, you're going to stick it low and you're going to stay right at the thighs versus reaching all the way down to the toes. All right, one more twist each way, and then come back up, and we're going to start to take it into a walk forward and back. So get a little space on your mat. Start with just that walk forward and back. See how that's feeling, and see if you can find just a little bit of an intentional footfall, like rolling through the bottom of the foot, feeling that big toe push off. If things are feeling good, the next time you come to the front end of your mat, you'll bend down, touch the ground. And then as you come back up, you're going to give it a little jog to come to the back end of your mat. Walk it forward, bend down, touch the ground, come up and jog it back. If the jogging doesn't feel like yours this morning, you're going to stick with just the walk. But if a little jog feels okay, go just at the pace that feels right to you this morning. We've got 20 seconds left. Okay, so we have some bouncing and some jumping and some thumping today, but I'm going to say, it's first of all, it's going to be consecutive. So it's like bop, 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 bop. We do it really fast and then we get off of it entirely. But if big jumps are not for you, you're going to only jump to the depth that feels just right. Now we're going to start with 5 heel drops. So you're going to lift your heels up and let them thump down, 3, 4, 5. Now take it into some slow calf raises, full range of motion, up and down, nice and slow. About 5 more seconds, and we're going to add those heel drops again. We'll do 5 consecutive heel drops, so they're pretty rapid pace, and then we'll come back to half calf raises. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now come to your half calf raises, nice and slow and controlled. Some of the work that we're doing today is for our bony health, bony structure of the thighs and the hips. So when we say drop, we're going to think about almost as if we're trying to really push our body or stomp our body into the ground as kind of the intentional work that we're looking for. We got 3 seconds left. All right, that's time. Now grab your hand weights. Go heavy if you can. We're going for a deadlift and then an alternating rear lunge. So feet hip width distance apart, micro bend the knees, push your butt back, hip hinge, come up with a little bicep curl. Step 1 foot back into a lunge, step it forward, other foot back into a lunge, step it forward, drop the hands down, push your butt back, hip hinge, deadlift, bicep curl, lunge, and lunge. That's the work. Take it at your pace. It does not need to be fast for it to be good. I'd rather you go nice and slow, have good form, and only work at the depth that feels right to you this morning. If those rear lunges feel unstable, option to take it into a front lunge, but I like to just widen my lunging stance so that it feels stable when I step back. Nice job. You guys look amazing. All right, that's time. Go ahead and set those weights down. Next up, it's going to be 5 jumping squats. Jumping squat might look different for you. So it might just be 5 jumps, but it's going to be 5 consecutive. And then we'll take it into some arm circles. Arm circles, you can add weights or no weights. It's going to be totally up to you. Get yourself in position. Find your squat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Land on the ground, arms out, circle it. You can shake out your legs if you want to, but mostly we're looking for those circle arms. Five more seconds. We're doing 5 more jumps. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to those arm circles. Shake out your legs. Maybe you take those arm circles and go in the other direction. Ten seconds left. All right, that's time. Now we're going to take it into a chair squat. So think for my yoga friends, chair position, lift one leg, set it down, lift the other leg, set it down, rise back up. Add a load if you want to. That's the work. You know, I'm obsessed with this one right now. Sink into your chair, pick one leg up, set it down, pick the other leg up, set it down, rise up. That's all the work you got to do. You add a load if it feels appropriate. Nice job. Twenty seconds left. All right, that's time. We're going to make sure we have a little bit of a clear space. It's going to be 30 seconds one leg, 30 seconds the other. We're going to stomp around the world. We want that intentional stomp. So you're going to step forward and a stomp, step it back, step it out 45 degrees, step it back, step it out a little bit wider, maybe going for that 2 o'clock, step it back, step it out to 3 o'clock, step it in, 4 o'clock. So we're going to stick with that leg. We got 30 seconds. You're just going to stomp around, stick with just that leg, go all the way around, hit all the points of the clock that you like. There's really no right or wrong. What we're looking for though is that intentional stomp. So we want to feel like we're stimulating the bony structure of the leg and maybe feeling it a little bit into the hip. We got 10 seconds left on this leg. All right, when you're ready, we're switching right over to the other side. Stomp. You can let your hands stomp with you. You can take out all your aggression. It's Friday, let it all out. If you have neighbors that you like downstairs, you might go a little bit lighter on your stomp, but not too light because this is intentional work. There's a reason that we're doing it. We're stimulating that bony structure. Nice job. 10 seconds left. All right, take it right into a cross crawl. One knee up, the other knee up, touching opposite hand to opposite knee. Once you've got that going on, we're going to add on. So we're going to add a little bit of a scoop of the foot behind, a scoop of the foot behind, like we're checking the bottom of our shoe. So cross crawl in the front, cross it in the back. Maybe you touch, maybe you just look. That'll be totally up to you. Find a little bit of a pace. Nice job. All right, that's time. Grab a light set of hand weights. Next up, it's going to feel a little bit cardio, but we're going to use our hand weights to add just a little bit of resistance. Nice wide stance. This is our fighting stance. So we're going to be a little bit loose in the hips, a little bit loose in the knees. Find that sense of looseness first, and then load up at the chin. We're going to do a cross punch. We pivot the feet. Cross punch. We pivot the feet. Uppercut. We pivot with the hip. Uppercut. We pivot with the hip. Cross. Cross, upper, upper. That's the work. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Do the work at your pace. If you're feeling a little bit slow this morning, go nice and slow. Stop at the end of that range of motion. Find that cross punch. Pause at the end when you hit the chin. Pause at the end when you hit the chin. But if it feels good to have a little bit of a pace, go with a little fluid movement. Bouncy with the legs. Nice job. Okay, that's time. Set your weights down for a moment. Give your legs a little shake, little working recovery, catch your breath. Next up, 2 options here, because some of us don't like the knee down variation. So for some of us, it's going to be a little bit of a standing squat, knees going past the toe, so we keep that upright position. What we're looking for is work in the fronts of the thighs, or the quadricep muscles. So for some of us, folks who don't like to put their knees down for a Z-sit, you're gonna stay in the standing variation, knees going past the toes. If being down on the knees feels good, thigh stretch. You're leaning back, feeling a little stretch in the thighs, and then come back up. We want that long lever. So we're leaning back, but we're thinking about keeping the hip bones or the pubic bone connected to the rib cage. So the whole thing moves as one unit. So we're not trying to push the butt back, right? We're trying to lean back and then come back up. Now, if you got here and you're like, my knees don't love this, come back up to that standing position, do the knees past the toes squat. Either way, you're going to get good work in the quadricep muscles. No matter which version you're doing, you're already halfway there. If this feels like it's not quite enough work, grab a hand weight, load it up at the front of the chest. You've got it. All right, that's time. Go ahead and release. Now we're going to come flip it around onto our backside, take it right into some hip bridges. If you want to, you're going to load up your hip bridge. You'll also have options to put your looping resistance band on, anything that would feel good, but it's just a good old fashioned hip bridge. Feet about hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt. Lift your hips up, lower with control. Get that nice good squeeze of the butt muscles at the top, and then lower back down. All right, that's time. We're going to roll onto one side. This is going to be a loaded thoracic twist. So we're going to find a sideline fetal position. Bottom hand is going to be empty. Top hand is going to be loaded, but we're going to pull like you're pulling a bow and arrow. You're going to pull nice and close to the body, open up into a twisted position, bring it back in, but keep it nice and close to the body. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to find that nice open twisted position using the load if you can. If the load creates too much tension in the back, then leave the load off. But if you can grab that load, we're going to keep it close to the body, rolling towards that front hand, and then rolling back into that open twisted position. And then, of course, you know I like to use the breath here. Exhale as you open up into your twist. Inhale as you bring it back in. So here we're adding that spinal mobility work with that little bit of load so that we're putting just a little bit of resistance on the body. Ten seconds left on this side. All right, that's time. We're flipping it around to the other side. I'm spinning myself out, so I'm facing out to you, but you flip yourself around in the way that makes good sense. Find your side lying position. One side might feel a little different from the other, so be sure to honor this side. Load it up if it feels good. Leave the load off if the load feels like it's asking too much of the spine. Keep the weight close to the body as you open up into that twisted position, and then bring it back in with control. Use your breath. Exhale as you open up. Inhale as you bring it back in. Nice work. All right, that's time. We're going to stick with one hand weight. Next up, it's going to be that bottom half of the Turkish get up. So we're going to slide the left leg in. Left hand's going to be loaded, right leg long, right arm out to the side. But for this particular one, we're going to focus a little bit on that arm bar, and we're going to add a little chest fly. So we've got our traditional shape here, right? Now, left arm is going to open out to the side, give a chest fly, Do the arm bar, push the shoulder up first, and then come up to the seated position, lower it all the way back down, add the chest fly, open up, bring it in, arm bar, push the arm up first, roll up, come back down. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Go nice and slow, shoot for that good control, opening out into that fly, arm bar, we push the shoulder up, and then roll up. Yes, nice job. 5 seconds left. All right, that's time. We're switching that work to the other side. Right leg bends, steps in, right hand loaded. And now we're going to add that chest fly. So we open out into that chest fly, arm bar, the shoulder lifts up first, and then we roll up to that seated position, come back down, back to that chest fly. We got 1 minute on the clock. One side might behave different from the other. So pace yourself according to how your arm and your shoulder works on this side and your core muscles. Nice job. 5 seconds left. All right, the next time you come down, stay down. Now, but if we can, we're gonna add a second hand weight. It's gonna be dead bug, so alternating opposite limbs. But if you like, add a little bit of load. For dead bug load, I would say light load is probably the best. I've got these 3 pounders here. That's gonna feel really comfortable. Firm up your belly. Opposite leg, opposite arm are gonna stretch out and away. They come back in with control. Switch to the other side. For some of us, it'll feel good to have the low back pressing into the ground. For some of us, it'll feel good to keep a slightly more natural curve of the back. So always make sure you position your spine in a way that you feel strong, keeping in mind that the bony structure of our spine might look different in little variations. So you always just want to make sure you position your body where it feels the strongest. And of course, I like using that exhale on the effort. As the opposite limbs move out, the standing limbs want to stay as steady and stable as possible. So if it helps you, look to the limbs that stay in that stationary position. Keep them nice and steady and stable as you alternate the other arms out, or arm and leg. All right, that's time. Go ahead and set those weights off to the side. We're coming all the way up to a seated position. Last minute of work is hopefully no work at all. So we're just going to step our legs out to a good wide position, and then we're folding forward. We want to feel a stretch in the inner thigh or a little sense of stress in the groin. So a little bit of stress is good. You have options to micro bend your knees so that you're not yanking too much against the hamstring muscles, but find a folded position, and then all you have to do is just relax into that shape. 30 seconds left. All right, when you're ready, come out of that fold, grab the backs of your knees, help your legs come together. And once you've got your legs together, just some little micro windshield wipers, swish those knees from side to side. Quick show of hands. Is everybody staying for foam roller? Because if we're staying for foam roller, I'm going to kick it into high gear. Okay, sweet. All right, grab your foam roller and we'll do the rest of our stretching from our foam roller. So clear your weights out of the way. Make sure that you have a little space. And then we'll do a quick little down doggy stretch and then we'll get down onto the ground. So place your foam roller in that tall setting. Once you've got your foam roller on the ground, fingertips to the roller, walk yourself back into that little upside down V shape. Make a little space between your arms best you can. Also, if it feels better to do so, you want to bend the knees a little bit, especially if you have a tendency towards tightness in the backs of the legs. So find a shape that feels kind of soft and nice. It shouldn't feel too extreme right now. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Add a little twist. Left hand's going to stay on the roller. Right hand's going to pick up and reach over towards the left thigh. Rotate a little bit. Look under your left arm. Take a breath. Right hand is going to touch back to the roller. Left hand's going to release. Left hand's going to reach over to the right thigh. Look under your right arm. Take a breath. Release left hand back to the roller. Pause again. Take a breath. All right, now walk it on up. Thumbs on the roller. Gently push down. And then release. Index fingers on the roller. Gently press down. And then release. Middle fingers on the roller. Gently press down. And release. Ring fingers on the roller. Gently press down. And release. Pinky fingers on the roller. Gently press down. And release. Nice. Give your fingers a little twinkle, a little shake. And now we're going to come down into a seated position. Think zigzag seat. And we're going to place the roller in front of us so that we can have that little bit of access to the side of the calf muscle. So roller in front, legs in a zigzag seat, and then we're just going to rock it a little side to side. Now, how you position the roller close to your body is like where do you get that wiggle room to move? And then hands are going to help manipulate, so you don't have to move your leg too much. Let your arms help rock that leg a little side to side. One more little rock side to side, and then find that middle ground. So thickest part of the calf muscle, and then your hands are going to do a little push and squeeze, right? So you're going to push into the muscle tissue like you're pushing it into the roller and then lift off. Push in a little bit and lift off. Do that one more time. Push in just a little bit. Lift off. Grab the knee, grab the heel, rock it a little side to side. All right, and then we're going to switch that work to the other leg. So spin your legs around in any way that works good for you. Take your time, no need to rush. Finding that zigzag seat, and then like keep in mind that one side might position itself just slightly different from the other. So get comfortable. And then once you're comfortable, then use your hands to rock that leg a little side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side, and then find that middle space, that nice thick part of the calf muscle. Hands on, push in and down, and then lean off a little bit. Push in and down, lean off a little bit, push in and down, lean off a little bit, grab the heel, grab the knee, rock that leg again side to side. All right, one more little rock side to side. And then we're going to spin everything around so that we're sitting onto the roller. So you're going to move your legs, you're going to move your roller, and then you're going to pop your butt right up onto the roller. Once you've got your weight here, we're taking it into that big roll across the hips right away. So think side of the glutes to side of the glutes. All right, now the next time you roll over to the right, stay there and take a couple of good rolls up and down. One more good roll up and down, and then we're gonna roll it back. So we wanna get the IT band to kind of gently rest on the roller. So you'll angle your butt a little bit, angle it so that you can get a little bit of the side of the thigh onto the roller. And then hand is gonna press into the inner thigh to gently press your IT band into the roller, and then lift off and release. Press into the roller, lift off and release. Press into the roller, stay there, take an extra cycle of breath. All right, and then lift off slowly, and then reposition so that we can take that work to the other side. So we're gonna roll across to the left glute. Once you're on the left, roll it up and down. One more nice good roll up and down, and then we'll reposition again. So we wanna find that little bit of a side angle so we can get the side of the thigh kind of onto the roller. Once you're there, hand to the inner thigh, push in, put a little pressure of the IT band onto the roller, and then lean off, push in, lean off, push in, hold there, take an extra breath. Lean off, come back through center. Once you've got yourself repositioned in your center, we're just gonna make sure that our butt feels like it's kind of solid in our roller, like it's a little bit of a chair. And then we're gonna take our thumbs and we're gonna push our thumbs. We're gonna find a little bit of a pressure point in our calf muscle. So that might feel different. You might wanna like play around for just a moment, poke your thumbs around your calf muscle, especially if you have a tendency towards some like points that feel a little bit more knotted or a little bit more intense. See if you can find a point. Push around with your thumbs and then see if you can find a point that feels just a little bit more sensational than the others. And then you're going to push into that point with a little bit of intention and hold that push. Then breathe nice and deep. So think about breathing into the bottom of your rib cage, but keep that pressure point on. Take about 3 nice deep breaths. One more big breath. All right, now release your thumbs, lift up just enough that you can grab hold of the right thigh and your hands are gonna do the manipulating. So you're gonna twist and turn the muscle on the bone. So you arrange your legs so that they have a point where they can be a little bit loose, and then grab that muscle tissue and just give it a good old twist and turn, twist and turn. Twist it and turn it down towards the hip, twist and turn it up towards the knee. All right, and then once you've twisted and turned it just enough, take it over to the other leg. Grab that thigh muscle, let it be as loose as possible on the bony structure, and then your hands do the hard work. They twist and turn the muscles, and the muscles get nice and soft. Beautiful. One more twist and turn, and then come back to those big rolls across your glute. Go from the left to the right. Take your time. The next time you come over to the right, stay there. Take a big breath in. Slow breath out. 3 rolls up and down. All right, and then roll it over and across to the other side. Once you're on the other side, pause for a moment, take a breath. Nice, and then 3 rolls up and down. Beautiful. Come back through center, hands to the roller, lift your butt up. We're going to go into that low back side body area. So we do want to be a little bit mindful when we do this work. So we're going to roll over slightly onto the right side where we feel that low back soft side body tissue. And then we're going to use our elbows and forearms, use your feet, lift your butt up to help support, and then gently roll up and down. So the body weight is supported with the legs and the arms so that we're not putting too much on that soft tissue. Go for about 3 more rolls here if it feels good. And then when you're ready, set your butt back down to the ground, roll over and across to the other side, readjust anything that you need to. We're in that low back side body tissue, so it's that soft tissue. Once you're there, pick your butt up, support with the legs, support with the arms, and then gently roll up and down. One more good roll up and down. And then come back through center. We're going to keep that roller nice and tight up against that low back SI area. Clip your elbows over the back end of the roller so that it feels like it's the elbows that are helping keep it in place. Once you're there, just a little gentle swish of the knees from side to side. One more gentle swish of those knees from side to side. And now we're going to roll over to the right. Now we're going to get up under the rib cage. So we're going to get on that side body area. So get the rib cage onto the roller. Once you've got your rib cage on the roller, gently rock yourself forward and back. Your hands are going to help you move a little bit. How much pressure you put on, it's like how much body weight feels good here. So you're going to let your body decide and let your arm and your legs help support whatever feels right. One more little rock forward and back. And then we're going to lift up just enough that we can move up an inch or so and then come right back to that rock forward and back. One more rock forward and back, and then we're going to lift up again, move up an inch or so, rock it forward and back. One more rock forward and back, and then we're moving it on up again. As we get up closer to that breast tissue and the armpit tissue, just be mindful how far forward and back you go. Make sure it feels comfortable. Once you've got a new place, rock it forward and back. One more rock forward and back, and then lift up, move it on up again. We're getting a little bit closer towards that armpit area. One more rock forward and back, and then lift it on up again, move up another inch or so, rock it forward and back. And now we're going to get up into that armpit area proper. So get up in the armpit. Once you're there, now that top arm is going to stay flush up against the top of the roller. Hopefully you're in a little bit of a side lying fetal position. Now that top hand is going to reach palm to palm. Exhale, open up into a twist. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, open up. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, open up, stay there, take an extra cycle of breath. Bring that hand back in. Hand's gonna find the roller. You're gonna push into the roller, lift up. Now we're gonna take that hand that was on the top of the roller, snug it in so that the shoulder head can land on the roller. Once you've got your shoulder head on the roller, we're gonna do some uppercuts here. So we're gonna punch up and down. Nice. One more punch up and down, and then let that hand relax just a little bit. Now the top arm, the hand that's on the roller, is going to help you manipulate just a little bit of forward and back. Beautiful. One more little forward and back, and then we're gonna go for the soft curve of the neck. So you're gonna lift up, move the roller up so it comes under the curve of your neck. We'll be mindful here about how much pressure or how much deep movement we do. So start by just letting the curve of your neck settle onto the roller. Pause, take a breath. And then if it feels good to do so, little micro movements from side to side or front to back, however you like to think about it. I like to think nose tipping towards the roller and then nose tipping away. One more little rock from side to side. Now we're gonna move it up to the jaw. Sometimes our glasses might get in the way here, so options to take off your glasses as needed. Jaw on the roller. Once you've got your jaw on the roller, we're gonna open and close the mouth like we're biting a big, gigantic sandwich. So just take a couple of big opens and closes. One more big open and close, and then definitely we'll want to take off your glasses for this next step. We're going to move up a little bit towards that cheekbone area. Turn your head a little bit side to side. Nod your head up and down. All right, and then when you're ready, we're going to move it on up just a little bit further. So now we're going to get into that temple and forehead area. So move it on up. Once you've got a place, gently nod your head up and down. And then turn your head a little side to side. One more turn from side to side, and then we're moving back down to that cheekbone area. So move the roller down. Turn your head a little side to side. Nod your head up and down. Move it back to the jaw. Once you're on the jaw this time, turn your head a little side to side. Nod your head up and down. Okay, now we're going to move it back underneath the curve of the neck and then just pause there for a moment. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Nice. And then when you're ready, gently push yourself up. We're going to flip it over to the other side. So I'm going to spin myself around so I'm facing out to you, but now we're moving all the way back down to that low back side body area. So get yourself repositioned, take your time, never need to rush. Once you've got that low back side body area on the roller, a little bit of a roll up and down. All right, set your butt down, do a little bit of a rock forward and back. One more little rock forward and back, and then we're going to move it on up. So now we're going to find that rib cage area. Once you've got the rib cage on, rock it forward and back. One more rock forward and back, and then we're going to move up just an inch or so. So move it up a little bit higher and then rock forward and back. One more rock forward and back. And then we're moving on up an inch or so. And then once you found that new spot, rock it forward and back. All right, one more rock forward and back, and then lifting it on up, moving on up another inch or so, rock it forward and back. Hey, Eileen, we're foam rolling. Grab your roller. All right, one more little rock forward and back, and then move it on up again. Now we're getting it up into the armpit area, so take your time. Okay, now we're gonna get into that armpit proper. So get up in there, That arm that's on top is gonna lay nice and tight up against the top of the roller. Top hand is gonna go palm to palm, and then exhale, open up into your twist. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, open up into your twist. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, open up into your twist. Stay there. Take an extra breath. Bring it back in nice and slow and controlled. And then hand's gonna find that roller. Push your way up. We're gonna take that top hand, slide it out, shoulder head onto the roller. Once you've got your shoulder head on the roller, top hand helps support, and we do some uppercuts with that bottom arm. So we're punching up and down, but it's keeping the shoulder head pinned up against the roller. So we're using the arm up and down to move the muscle tissue and move the bony structure. All right, one more punch up and down, and then let that punching come to stillness. Now use your top hand to help guide, rock yourself a little bit forward and back. Beautiful. One more rock forward and back, and then we're gonna move it on up to the curve of our neck. So carefully and mindfully move the roller so that it's underneath the curve of your neck. Once you're there, we're just gonna pause for a moment, take a breath. All right, now if a little movement here feels good, you're gonna gently turn your head a little side to side. One more little rock from side to side, and then we're gonna move it on up to the jaw. And I'm gonna spin myself around actually so I stay off of my microphone, but you're gonna keep working on the side that you're working on. And then Eileen, we've already done the other side all the way through, so you might wanna do a little flip over, get the other side along the way if you like to. All right, so now we're gonna get that jaw up onto the roller. Once you've got your jaw on the roller, open and close your mouth like you're eating a big gigantic sandwich. One more open and close that jaw. And then if you've got glasses on, take them off, move it up to the cheekbone area. Once you've got that cheekbone, a little turn of the head from side to side. All right, and then nod your head up and down. Great, and then when you feel ready, we're moving it on up to that temple forehead area. Once you're on that temple forehead area, again, turn your head a little side to side. And then nod your head up and down. All right, when you're ready, we're moving back down to that cheekbone. But Eileen, you might choose to flip over to the other side so you get your other side as well. All right, back to that cheekbone, turn your head a little side to side. Nod it up and down. Lift on up, move it back to the jaw. And then this time for the jaw, we turn a little side to side. But Eileen, you might choose to open and close if you flipped over to your other side. One more turn side to side and then nod it up and down. All right, and then when you're ready, bring that roller back underneath the curve of your neck. Pause there for a moment, take a big breath in. Slow breath out. Great. Now, if you took your glasses off, you might choose to take a moment to put them back on. We're going to roll over onto our backside, but we're going to try to keep that roller underneath our head. But now we're going to get it under our head like a pillow, and we want it underneath that occipital ridge. So get it underneath that bony structure. And then once you've got it under the bony structure, turn your head gently from side to side. One more turn of the head from side to side, and then head's gonna lift up. We're gonna come up into a little bit of a crunched up position just so that we can take that roller, move it with you, get it underneath the shoulder blade area. Once you've got it underneath the shoulder blade area, hands are gonna support the head, pick up your butt, Micro roll here, just a little bit of a tiny roll up and down. All right, now we're gonna stay at the top of that roll and then add on an inch, so just rolling up and down. At that top of the roll, add another inch, roll up and down. At the top of that roll, add another inch, roll up and down. So now we're getting a little bit higher up in that shoulder area. All right, at the top of that roll, add another inch, but now if it feels good, especially just depending on the proportions of your body, it might feel good to just take it into that big, generous roll, all the way up to the tops of the shoulders, all the way down to the beneath the shoulder blades. Nice. One more big, gigantic, slow roll up and down. And then your butt's gonna set down onto the ground. We're gonna sit ourselves up, grab your roller, and we're gonna place it on tops of the thighs. And we're gonna do the push and drag. So we're gonna angle it out slightly. So think top of the thigh, but side of the thigh. So you're gonna angle it out, push down, drag like you're trying to pull the skin, the connective tissue, and the fabric of your clothes up to your hip, and then bring it back down. Push in, drag it up. Do that one more time. Lift up, come down where your knee meets the thigh, push in, drag up, and then we're gonna take that over to the other side. So angle it out, finding that top side of the thigh, push in, drag up, lift up when you get to the top, push in, drag it up. Do that one more time. Push in, drag it up. Nice. And then bring it to the midline or belly button line and then push in and drag from side to side. One more little drag from side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to spin it around to a tabletop position. So take your roller with you, flip your legs around. Once you've got yourself into tabletop position, right hand on the ground, palm facing down, steamroll the back of your hand. One more steamroll to the back of the hand, and then we're going to stick with that right hand, but flip it. So now you might want a little bit more of your butt weight back in your heels, palm facing up. Once you've got your palm facing up, steamroll your palm. One more steamroll of the palm, and then we're going to switch that work to the other hand. So right hand down, palm facing down, left hand down. Oh, my left and my rights. Left hand down, right hand's doing the steamrolling. Just roll it up and down. All right, one more roll up and down, and then we're going to flip. So butt weight back in the heels, flip your palm, palm facing up, and then steamroll the palm. Nice. One more steamroll of that palm, and then both hands on the roller, we're going to roll out the forearms. So you're going to keep a little bit of your weight back in your heels just so you're not putting too much on the shoulders. Palms facing down, roll out towards the elbow joint, roll it back in. Beautiful. Now, the next time you come up and in, palms are going to face in towards each other. So we get the blade edge of the arms. All right, one more roll out and in, and then the next time you come in, flip palms so that the palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and you might shorten that work a little bit. So keep a little bit of your weight back in your heels. Beautiful. One more roll through, and then we're going to bring that roller all the way down so that we can find the tops of our thighs. And then once we found the tops or fronts of our thighs, elbows and forearms down on the ground, toes down, and we're just going to do that nice big long drag. So we're going to drag up towards the hip points and then down towards the knees, but we're going to stay off of the hip points and we're going to stay off of the bony landmark of the knees. All right, now you're gonna find the middle part of your thighs or find a point where it feels a little bit sensational. See if you can land on that point for a moment. And then we're just gonna do a couple little bends of the legs. Now, if bending the legs feels like it's a little too intense, you'll leave that part off. But if it feels good, then add it on, but go nice and slow. Awesome. One more bend and straighten up the legs. And then toes float down and then just do a little bit of a micro roll just on the like kind of vibrating around the point that you were just working on. All right, one more little micro roll. And now we're going to take it up to the hip point. So I say drop your knees down, move the roller underneath the hip points, but you get there in a way that makes good sense to you. Once you've got your hip points lined up with the roller, take a moment to just give your butt a little wag as if you're just trying to wiggle out your bones on the roller, let them kind of settle into shape. Take a nice big breath. One more wiggle of the hips and then roll over to the right. Take 3 rolls up and down. Come back through center, go nice and slow, line up the hip points as you come through center, give your butt that little wiggle wag. All right, and then when you're ready, we're gonna roll it over to the left. Take 3 rolls up and down. Okay, now we're gonna finish with heavy dragon tail. So we're gonna roll through center. We want to encourage the tailbone to get heavy towards our heels. So we're gonna get our hip points arranged on the roller, and then we're gonna walk our elbows nice and wide. Now this is a little bit like on the bladder, so I saved it for last so that when we're done, if you need to, you can run to the potty. So get your hips nice and heavy on the roller, walk your elbows out as wide as you can. Forehead or chin is gonna rest on your stack of hands, and then you're gonna imagine that you've got a big dragon tail, and it's super heavy, and it's heavy towards your heels, and we're gonna take like 10 nice deep breaths here. So settle into your shape, relax everything that you can. 2 more cycles of breath here if you can stand it. All right, and then when you're ready, slowly and gently start to push your way up to tabletop position. Once you've come up to that tabletop position, give your hips a little wag from side to side. So we put a little bit of a pressure on that front pockets of our jeans area. So now we just kind of want to squish it a little bit side to side just to invite some fluid movement back in. And then once you've moved it just enough, hands are going to find the roller. We're going to come up through a down dog shape. So curl your toes under, lift up into that down dog shape, but then walk your feet towards the roller. So we come into that soft folded position. Bend your knees more than you think you need to here. Steamroll the tops of the feet, rolling up towards the ankles, down towards the toes. Take about 3 good steam rolls. All right, and then leave that roller on the ground off your toes. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Come up nice and slow and controlled. One foot on the roller, 1 foot on the ground. Roll through the bottom of your foot. All right, one more roll through the bottom of the foot, and then find that middle point and squish the bug. One more squish of the bug. and then toes and the balls of the feet onto the roller. Roll your heel down towards the ground. Readjust as needed so you just feel a little bit of a stretch in the Achilles tendon and the calf muscle. Take a breath. Okay, and then step that foot up, other foot on, nice soft roll to the bottom of the foot, about 3 good rolls there. Awesome, and then once you've done a couple of good rolls to the bottom of the foot, find that middle point and squish the bug. Nice. One more squish of that bug, and then when you're ready, set your foot down. Oops, excuse me. Toes in the ball of the foot on the roller. Push your heel down, stretch the Achilles tendon, stretch the back of your calf. Take a nice big breath. I'd have you guys walking around uneven all day. Oh, fun Friday. Okay, release that foot, both feet on the ground. Take a nice big breath. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend your knees, push your butt back, fold down towards the roller. Take a big breath in your folded position. And then bend your knees more than you think you need to. Pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up. Take your time as you roll up. Give your shoulders a little wriggle jiggle. Give your hips a little bounce and a shake. You guys are amazing. Nice job today. Happy Friday.